Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Players' injury following the Aston Villa clash, and Morgan Rogers' surprisingly modest take after his heroic brace downs United. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Players injured following Aston Villa clash. Manchester United have already ruled 4 players out of their upcoming fixture against Newcastle United on Boxing Day. The Red Devils suffered a fresh injury setback ahead of the match when Kobbie Mainoo picked up a knock in training. The young midfielder is expected to be sidelined for around a week with a minor calf problem and should return in time to face Wolves. However, he will not be available for the Newcastle game this week. This latest issue is a real blow for the teenager, who has been one of United's brightest sparks. Matthijs de Ligt remains out of action, with no specific return date confirmed. He could potentially be back before the end of the year if he resumes full training this week. Harry Maguire has been absent for a month with a thigh injury. There is still no clear timeline for his comeback, and it may well be into the new year before he is fit again. The defender's prolonged absence has further weakened United's defensive options at a crucial time. Bruno Fernandes was forced off at halftime and substituted. He is now set to miss a few weeks of action and will certainly be unavailable against Newcastle. The exact date of his return remains uncertain, though he could be back in contention early in the new year. Losing the Portuguese playmaker, who is the heart of United's midfield, will be a massive setback for the team. Morgan Rogers' bold post-match verdict on beating the Red Devils. Aston Villa clinched all 3 points with a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Manchester United at Villa Park in Matchweek 17 of the Premier League. Morgan Rogers' brilliant brace secured the win, extending the host's impressive form and piling further pressure on the visitors, who arrived with hopes of nicking a result. The defeat leaves Manchester United stuck in 7th place on 26 points, with a record of 7 wins, 5 draws, and 5 losses, a tally that sees them drifting further from the European spots. In contrast, this sweet result keeps Aston Villa firmly in 3rd on 36 points, marking their 7th consecutive league win and underscoring the remarkable consistency of Unai Emery's side at the top end of the table. The first half unfolded at a cautious tempo, with both teams playing it safe amid some intense exchanges. The deadlock was finally broken in the 45th minute through a stunning individual effort from Villa's young forward Morgan Rogers. It started with a precise pass from John McGinn out to the left flank. Rogers collected the ball, drove into the penalty area, and unleashed an accurate finish that rippled the net, putting the hosts 1-0 up. In added time at the end of the first half, United hit back instantly. Patrick Dorgu capitalized on dispossessing Villa defender Matty Cash, feeding the ball to the unmarked Matheus Cunha, who slotted home coolly to level the scores at 1-1 as the teams headed into the break. The second half brought a surprise substitution when United captain Bruno Fernandes picked up an injury and was replaced by Lisandro Martinez. The Red Devils started brightly, pressing Villa's defense, but it was the hosts who doubled their lead in the 57th minute. Ollie Watkins held up the ball well before laying it off, and once again Morgan Rogers found himself unmarked, firing past goalkeeper Sen Lamens for his second of the match and restoring Villa's advantage at 2-1. That scoreline held firm until the final whistle. United dominated possession with 58%, registering 21 shots with 6 on target and completing 451 passes at 88% accuracy. Morgan Rogers' 2 exquisite goals not only sealed the victory but also cemented his position as Aston Villa's standout star at present. His brace, the first a sublime curling effort from the left flank, the second a razor-sharp clinical finish, sent Villa Park into raptures, while Unai Emery marked the second strike by hurling his jacket skyward into the chilly night air, a vivid emblem of delight at the club's record-breaking 10th consecutive win across all competitions. After the match, Morgan Rogers expressed his immense pride in the significant victory, emphasizing that every fixture is crucial, especially against a giant like Manchester United. He highlighted Villa's historically poor record against the Red Devils, noting the heightened motivation to put that right and his delight at securing the 3 points. Rogers also heaped praise on Unai Emery's tactics, crediting positional discipline and patience in waiting for counter-attacking opportunities as the key to neutralizing United's pressure in the second half. In his view, the team's composure under sustained possession from the visitors demonstrated the growing mental maturity of the villains, who now look increasingly equipped to challenge for the title at the sharp end. On the other hand, this loss was a bitter blow for Manchester United, who continue to struggle for consistency under Ruben Amorim. Despite controlling the ball and firing off over 20 shots, their lack of clinical finishing and vulnerability to quick transitions were ruthlessly exposed by Aston Villa. Bruno Fernandes' injury early in the second half only compounded matters, blunting United's creativity without their midfield orchestrator. This latest setback means the Red Devils must urgently sort themselves out if they are to avoid slipping even further from the race for European football next season. Manchester United set to splurge on Serie A starlet. Manchester United are reportedly plotting a massive swoop for one of Serie A football's brightest prospects to bolster their options in the final third. This move aligns perfectly with the ongoing rebuild at Old Trafford under the stewardship of Ruben Amorim. Since the Portuguese tactician took the reins, the Red Devils have slowly begun to rediscover their identity. While performances on the pitch remain a tad hit and miss, United have shown genuine signs of progress during Amorim's first full season in the dugout. As we approach game week 17 of the Premier League, United find themselves sitting 7th in the table. This resurgence is a far cry from the dismal 2024-2025 campaign, where the club languished in a shocking 15th place. It is little wonder, then, that the board is keen to flex its financial muscles in the upcoming transfer window to keep this upward momentum going. Reports from Defensa Central, via Madrid Universal, suggest that Manchester United are prepared to table a staggering £67 million bid to secure the services of Nico Paz, the creative spark currently lighting up Serie A with Como. The Argentine youngster has seen his stock skyrocket since moving to Italy last summer in search of regular first-team football. His impact has been nothing short of immediate. Across the entire Italian top flight this term, only Lautaro Martinez has registered more goal involvements than Paz. With 5 goals and 5 assists to his name, it is a remarkable return for a lad of his age. However, United's pursuit is far from straightforward. Real Madrid still hold a buyback clause worth roughly £7.5 million for the summer of 2026, which rises slightly the following year. Nevertheless, United remains hopeful that a lucrative financial package will convince all parties to shake hands on a deal. The hierarchy views the 21-year-old as a long-term solution for a midfield that has lacked dynamism and technical guile for far too long. The plot thickens, however, as Real Madrid also reportedly retain a 50% sell-on clause. This means if United do stump up the £67 million, the Spanish giants would pocket around £33.5 million. Madrid must now weigh up whether to trigger their cheap buyback option or simply sit back and take the massive payout. At Como, Paz has become the heartbeat of Cesc Fabregas' side. He is renowned for his progressive passing and an innate ability to carve out chances that has caught the eye of Europe's elite. He isn't just a luxury player, either. His defensive work rate is top tier. Over the past year, Paz has averaged 2.24 tackles per 90 minutes, placing him in the 95th percentile for attacking midfielders in Europe's big leagues. According to data, he also sits in the 87th percentile for interceptions. For Manchester United, landing Nico Paz would be a massive statement of intent under Ruben Amorim. Yet, the club must tread carefully with such a hefty price tag, especially given the glaring need for reinforcements in central defense and at holding midfield. Bringing in a marquee playmaker is all well and good, but the Old Trafford faithful will be wary of overspending on a flair player if the spine of the team still requires urgent surgery to compete for the Champions League spots. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.